Hi, I'm Jason, and this is the Cultural Breakdown. This last weekend, we saw two big bombs come out with The Flash and Elemental. Both are performing below expectations and are likely going to lose money for their respective studios. So now the question is, why is this happening? Um, in all honesty, it's pretty much simple. People just didn't want to watch these in the theater. That's not to say whether these are good or bad. I'm not going to give that opinion right now. It's just if a movie is bad, it can still make money. If a movie's good, it can still lose money. So that's not the thing. It's just people didn't think like this was something to see in the theater. Why is that? Well, you get The Flash right here, and that's just another big budget, effects heavy superhero movie. We got tons of those. I mean, I can just pop one of my Blu-rays in and watch something like that at home. There's nothing there that's really new that I haven't seen before. And then you get Elemental, which is just another Pixar movie. It's kind of generic Pixar movie. I mean, some of them are good, some of them aren't as good. But families are like, why am I going to pay $100 to take my kids to the movie when I can just wait a month and it'll be on Disney Plus for free? So there's really nothing there for audiences. And ultimately that comes down to a lack of respect for the audiences. The studios don't think that the audience is worth actually investing any effort into. They're like, let's just put together a regular superhero movie, or let's put together an animated Pixar movie and give it out there and people will watch it because they like the stuff the studio makes before. And I think that's kind of a wrong approach. You need to approach every movie as if it's something unique and as if this is the only movie that this studio has ever made. So you need to sell it to the audiences. And I don't think they failed. I think they failed to do that. I mean, it's just kind of hubris. They just expect the audience to show up, and that's not always the case. Now jump over to the main subject here, Mission Impossible 7's first reactions. Tom Cruise conquers critics with impeccably made, exhilarating action film. Now, this is a different thing right here. Go back a couple of years. We had COVID hit, and then the theaters were shut down. And then when they were opening up, some movies are coming out half in theaters, half on streaming, or they were in theaters for like the first week or something like that. And just basically theaters weren't doing anything, and it was terrible. And then you have Top Gun Maverick come out, and they're like, look at, we shot inside actual fighter jets. This is practical. There's not effects. I mean, you've never seen anything like this before. You need to experience it in a movie theater, preferably an IMAX screen, but just a theater with the sound system and the big screen. And people were like, yeah, I'm sold. That sounds cool. And they go into a box office gross of over $1 billion globally. And not only that, but before the movie came out, Tom Cruise literally recorded something coming out on the screen and thanking people for coming back to the theaters to watch their movie. That might seem like a small gesture, but I think it rings big, where it just shows respect for the audience when you're like, we tried to make something that we think you would love to see in a theater, and I thank you for coming to actually see it this way. And it really worked for them. And that's kind of the thing they're bringing with this one. I mean, the Mission Impossible movies have always been pretty good. I mean, I've enjoyed them at least. I mean, they're cool set pieces, lots of good action sequences. The plots are interesting. They're not too convoluted. They don't feel like they're pretentious. I mean, I think it's just the right balance of everything in the mix. And every movie, they're like, Tom Cruise is famously trying to up the ante of like, okay, what crazy stunts can I do now? I was hanging on the back of a train in the first one. I've also hung on the side of an airplane or whatever, climbed the tallest building in the world. Like, what's this one? Oh, I'm going to launch a motorcycle off a cliff and then skydive from it. Awesome. I want to see that on a big screen. It looks pretty cool, at least from the promo stuff I've seen. So that's for the point. It's like you give people something that they haven't seen, something that looks exciting, and you treat the audience with respect, and people will actually show up. And now you get this movie, which, according to the article, takes place right after the previous movie, Mission Impossible Fallout, where their team averts a nuclear apocalypse, and that movie grossed $800 million globally. I'm thinking this one is probably going to hit the $1 billion mark, especially if Top Gun Maverick is anything to go off of, because Tom Cruise built up a lot of goodwill with that movie. I mean, it was awesome, especially a remake of an 80s movie. I mean, I didn't think it was anything special when I first heard about it. Then I see it, and it's like, oh yeah, this is actually worth it. So I'm thinking this one's going to hit, this Mission Impossible 7 is going to hit the $1 billion mark. But after this first showing, now you're getting these critics actually praising it right here. I'm not going to go into all of them. You can pause the video if you want to read these yourself or check out this article from Variety. But yeah, pretty good reviews and pretty good praise coming from this. And I think ultimately what happens is you just need to respect the audience. They'll come to the theater, and it was literally to the point where Steven Spielberg personally thanked Tom Cruise for Top Gun Maverick for basically saving the Hollywood system and basically saving theaters. Because before that happened, people were wondering, like, is this going to be the way it is where everything is just going to be streaming services now? So now we have to reevaluate how we shoot movies. No, you can still have these big budget movies and stuff like that. You can still have the summer blockbuster. It just has to be the right movie. It's not owed to anyone. I don't care how long running the franchise is or anything like that. You need to respect the audiences. So let me know in the comments, is Mission Impossible 7 something you're going to check out, or are you going to pass on this? Just right below, let me know. And always, if you like the video, make sure you click the like button, share the video, and to subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date with the latest news. Thank you.